Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something that comes up a lot for English learners.
Hmm.
How do you get that daily speaking practice in when, well, you don't actually have a speaking partner?
Right. It's a really common situation. Maybe it's location or feeling a bit shy.
Or just finding someone whose schedule matches yours? It could be tough.
Yeah, definitely a hurdle. And there's this persistent idea that you need that partner to improve your spoken English.
But that's exactly what we're going to dig into today. Our mission really is to explore how you can get effective daily practice entirely on your own.
There are actually a surprising number of ways, creative ways.
Yeah, techniques that put you in control. We're drawing on some really interesting insights about how to approach this solo practice effectively.
So let's get started.
Okay, first things first. It really seems to begin with a mindset shift, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's so easy to fall into that trap of, oh, I'll start speaking when.
When I find someone or when I feel less awkward about it,
Exactly. Or when I have more vocabulary. But waiting for that perfect moment.
it's often just delaying things, procrastination, basically.
It really is. You're putting off the very thing that builds the skill and the confidence you're waiting for.
It's like wanting to learn guitar. You can watch videos all day,
Right.
but until you actually
Yeah.
pick it up and strum and make some, awkward sounds.
That's when the learning happens. Consistency over perfection. That's what the research strongly suggests. Treat it like any skill.
Get those reps in.
Mm-hmm. Get the practice going.
And here's something fascinating. The idea that your brain doesn't necessarily distinguish who you're talking to.
Well, yeah, in terms of the act of speaking. When you're forming sentences, retrieving words, moving your mouth to make the sounds, that process is beneficial, whether someone's listening or not.
So the core goal is simpler than we think.
Fundamentally, yes. It's about getting your mouth moving, producing English sounds, making those connections every single day.
Even if it feels a bit strange initially.
Which leads perfectly into the first big technique.
Yeah.
Just talk to yourself.
Okay, yeah. I can imagine some people thinking, really? Talk to myself. It sounds a bit out there.
It might feel weird at first, but honestly, it's highlighted as a super powerful fluency builder. Low pressure, totally accessible.
So how does that work in practice? Like, what do you actually say?
Start simple. Describe what you're doing out loud as you're doing it.
Like narrating your morning routine.
Exactly. Okay, I'm making coffee now. Need to find the filter. Or, brushing my teeth. Should probably floss after this.
Turning that inner voice outward.
Precisely. Or narrate other activities. Cooking, for example. Right? Chopping the onions. Whoa, strong ones today.
Need to add some salt now. Let's
Yeah. It turns your daily life into this sort of live English practice session. You're constantly forming sentences about what's
It
happening.
gets you thinking in English more spontaneously, right?
Right.
Without worrying about judgment.
That's a huge part of it. And you can level it up. Ask yourself questions.
Oh, okay. Like
Yeah.
what?
Simple things. What should I wear today? What did I think of that movie last night? What are my main goals for this week?
Forcing yourself to actually formulate an answer in English.
Mm-hmm. Real-time sentence construction.
Okay, so self-talk is one powerful tool. But what about sounding more natural? More like a native speaker?
Ah, yes. That brings us nicely to the shadowing technique.
Shadowing. I've heard this one mentioned a lot. It sounds really effective for pronunciation and rhythm.
It is. The basic idea is simple. You listen to a native English speaker.
Like on a podcast or YouTube?
Exactly. And you repeat what they're saying almost simultaneously, or just a split second behind.
So you're literally trying to be their shadow, mimicking everything.
Pretty much the rhythm, the ups and downs of their voice, the intonation, the way they link words together.
How do you actually do it? Just pick someone and start talking over them.
Kind of. Find a short clip, focus on one speaker, play it, and try to speak along. Don't worry if you lag a bit behind, that's normal. Just try to copy the sounds and flow.
I can see how that would train your mouth muscles.
It does, but it also trains your ear at the same time. You start to internalize the natural patterns of English without consciously thinking about grammar rules all the time.
Which could lead to sounding more natural over time.
That's the goal. And the great thing is you can do it while you're doing other things.
Like walking or cleaning.
Sure, on your commute, maybe. Doesn't always need dedicated sit-down time.
Okay, self-talk, shadowing. What else is in the solo practice toolkit?
Recording yourself.
Ah, one everyone slightly dreads. Hearing your own voice back.
Huh. Yes, it can feel a bit uncomfortable, can't it? But it's incredibly useful for spotting things you wouldn't otherwise notice.
So just grab your phone, hit record.
Yep. talk about anything, your day, your opinions on something, your plans for the weekend. Answer some practice questions you find online. Just talk for a few minutes.
And then the important part,
Listen back.
crucial, but listen with like an analytical ear, not a critical one. Don't beat yourself up.
What should you listen for? Things like, does your voice sound confident? Are you speaking too fast? Too slow? Are there specific sounds you stumble over? Is your meaning clear?
It gives you objective feedback, I guess.
Exactly. And over time, you build this amazing audio diary of your progress.
Well, that's a great point. You can actually hear the improvement.
Yeah. Compare a recording from this month to one from 3 months ago. It can be hugely motivating to notice those changes, how much more natural you might sound.
Like your own little language learning time capsule?
Precisely.
Okay, but what if you sit down to record yourself or even just talk to yourself
Yeah.
and your mind goes totally blank? What do I even talk about?
That definitely happens, and that's where having some prompts or using specific apps can be a lifesaver.
Right, so you don't just stare silently at your phone recorder.
Exactly. There are tons of websites with free speaking prompts. Just search for ESL speaking topics or something similar.
Give us a few examples.
Sure, things like, what would you do if you won $1 million? Or describe your favorite holiday. Maybe talk about a goal you have for this year.
Simple questions, but they get you talking.
They give you a starting point. And beyond lists online, technology can help too.
You mean language apps?
Yeah, many apps now have features where you can have simulated conversations, or they give you prompts and sometimes even AI feedback on your pronunciation.
That's quite sophisticated now.
It really is. And here's another idea, sort of a creative application. The TED Talk simulation.
Ooh, intriguing. Tell me more.
Pick a topic. Anything you have some thoughts on. It doesn't have to be world-changing.
My favorite type of coffee.
Sure. Or how to stay focused when working from home. Or even my advice to my younger self. Then try to speak about it for, say, 2 or 3 minutes, like a mini presentation.
Just yourself or recorded?
Either. The point is to structure your thoughts a bit more, speak continuously on one topic. It really builds confidence in expressing slightly more complex ideas.
I like that. It pushes you beyond simple answers. Okay, so we've got self-talk, shadowing, recording, using prompts, the TED Talk idea, lots of tools. But the challenge is often fitting it all in, right? Daily life is busy.
That's the perennial challenge. The key is making it a manageable routine, not another huge chore. Integration is key.
So how would that look practically? Can you sketch out a sample daily plan?
Let's try. It doesn't have to be hours, maybe 5 minutes in the morning, self-talk while you're getting dressed or making breakfast.
Okay, manageable.
Then maybe 10 minutes sometime during the day, lunch break, commute, shadow a short video clip or a bit of a podcast.
Got it.
Evening, another 5 minutes perhaps. Record a quick summary of your day in English, just your main thoughts or events.
Simple voice note?
Exactly. And then maybe on the weekend, you could dedicate a slightly longer slot, say 15 minutes for that TED-style talk, or working through a few speaking prompts more deeply.
When you break it down like that, it's maybe 20, 30 minutes total on a weekday.
Right. It's not about finding huge blocks of time. It's about that consistency. Those small chunks add up incredibly quickly over weeks and months.
Consistency beats intensity in this case.
Absolutely. That's the crucial element. Showing up every day, even for a short burst. Don't aim for perfection each time. Just aim for participation. The act of speaking regularly is what truly matters.
So let's sort of wrap this up. What's the big message we want listeners to take away?
I think the most important thing is realizing you don't need to wait. You don't absolutely need that speaking partner to make real progress with your spoken English.
Your own voice is the tool you need to start with.
It really is. Using it consistently with these kinds of techniques actively trains your brain, builds that muscle memory for speaking.
And chips away at the hesitation, building confidence.
Exactly. It leads to more fluent, more natural speech over time. You're putting in the work yourself.
So for you listening, we've laid out quite a few ideas here.
Maybe think about this. What if you consciously decided to integrate just one of these techniques into your daily routine, starting tomorrow?
Just one. Maybe self-talk for 5 minutes or shadowing one short video.
Yeah. How could that consistent small action start to change things for you? How might it build that speaking confidence, that fluency, even when nobody else is around to practice with?